I'm now joined by Henry Blodget. He's CEO of the Business Insider, and he's back with us now for Blodget on Bloomberg. Henry, first of all, is it just an increasing trend that people want a one-stop shop?
I think the owners of the one-stop shop would want to think so. I think really what's going on here is Anschutz is just saying, look, we're going to get a better deal, and we want a better deal than we have, so we're going to threaten to leave you, which would obviously hobble Ticketmaster. We're going to open up the options and see what kind of a deal we can get.
And this is just talk, or are they actually serious about it?
I'm sure they're looking into it, but it is talk, and it's in the press for the reason of, okay, let's see if Ticketmaster is going to respond with favorable pricing and so forth. And Ticketmaster has an absolute lock on the ticketing business, so I'm sure there are a lot of consumers out there would like to see some other options.
You can count me among them.
And me.
Are we going to see more M&A in these kind of deals? You know, after a recession, people do want cheaper prices.
I think so. Companies are piling up cash. Even through the worst of the recession, some of the big media companies were still just cash flow hoses. So they've got big piles of cash. The confidence is coming back. As you know, in the CEO suite, it's all about control and power. So sure, I think you're going to see a lot more stuff like this.
Go ahead, Francine, please.
No, I mean, what kind of M&A are we going to see amongst the groups? Small groups, medium groups? What kind of a picture, if I talk to you in a year from now, are we going to see?
I think it's across the board. I think the COMCAST NBC deal is classic. I mean, the fact that we're getting into this now, and you had some great negotiating through the press over the weekend where now GE is announcing, well, we're talking to other parties about NBC because we want to get the best deal. And both parties are doing this. This is the highest profile, but there are lots of smaller acquisitions that are out there, and I think a lot of the big media companies that have the cash are going to start deploying it again with online properties, which is a very exciting area.
Is that just a ruse, though, Henry, this other parties, or is it, I mean, you know how the game is played?
Absolutely. I think so. I think it's GE. The first thing you do when you're selling something is create the impression of multiple sources of demand. It's your only source of leverage if you've announced that you want to sell something. So, of course, they're going to do that. Murdoch is playing along, happy to look at NBC. Is he going to be the actual guy who pays the most? Highly unlikely, in my opinion. And Brian Roberts, unfortunately, has already put some cards on the table, showing everybody how desperate he is to get a big media company.
Henry, I wanted also to ask you something about BLACKBOARD and Northwest University. I mean, we're seeing more and more Google applications coming out to the students. Are they going to win the battle in the end?
So the big battlefield for Google Apps is that Microsoft is still sitting on a pot of gold with Microsoft Office. Google Apps is slowly but surely nibbling away at that at the low end. Over the next 10 years, I think you're going to see a radical shift in that product. And this is a small piece of it, not very important unto itself. The fact that people are now building applications that are integrated into Google Apps, and they have a hold on part of that educational market, it's a very good sign for Google.
So what is Google exactly going after? I mean, it's the students, it's the niches, the people that weren't really up to them before?
Well, the Google Apps right now are really being adopted for convenience and for collaboration. And this is, again, it's a small niche market, but a lot of corporations are starting to use Google Apps as well. And as they get more hold, you'll see them work up the food chain and get a lot more serious.
Henry Blodget, thank you so much.